Okay, 1. Flat. Like, you don't see anything. What the... Really? Just slap pillow? All you guys get is slap pillow. So, let's talk about the kit. Okay. Attacker, freezing weapons, freezing breath, burst skills 3, so burst 3, attacker, and water. So 1, finally, it's a water. 2, god dang it, it's a rocket launcher. They can never... They have been historically, they have been bad at handling rocket launchers. They have been, I don't know how to tell it to you guys in particular, but again, it's the boss content that's suffering right now. And it's, yeah, unless they make a boss with unlimited HP parts, they will just have a hard time making rocket launchers work. What do you mean SVS is a great rocket launcher? Scarlet Black Shadow is totally just... she's not even... I don't even consider her a rocket launcher, really. Like, she's more of a sniper rifle. I don't know why they decided to not give her... Yeah, she's a sniper rifle without range bonus. That's basically what they want to do with Scarlet Black Shadow. She has 6 ammo capacity. Okay, that's fine. That's the standard. Reload time 2.0. That's kind of standard also. 61.3% attack damage, charge time 1 second. So these are all standard rocket launcher status. Full charge 250% and the 200% core bonus damage. These are all standard rocket launchers. Skill 1 is activating full charge and then it affects self-charge speed 13%. So again, they're making units like I said this in the D video. They're just gonna design units that's requiring full charge at this rate, and it's yeah, you guys are just not gonna escape it. They're gonna design units that will require full charge just to avoid the macro situation of getting more damage when they're fast charging. Yeah, like I said, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, expect this to be the full design moving on forward. Charge damage 2.01% for every unit in the final max ammo capacity. If I understood this correctly from the JP, this is based on how much max ammo you have. So by default, without any overloads, you have 6 times 2. So if you have 10 ammo, so it's based on the final max ammo cap total. Okay, so it's so if you have 10, then it's 10 times 2. Okay, so in general, usually you get like, if you have 2 ammo capacity, that would be like a +3, +4, +7, so like you have 13. If you have 4 max ammo, assuming like, because if we're gonna build around her, then you would have 4 times 4, 16 +6, 22. So I would say like 20 ammo. If you put in max ammo for every single overload piece, then you would have 20 max ammo, which is times 2, so it would be 40% bonus charge damage. Whether that's good or bad, we will see. Because 40% on a 250, because this is a 250 by default, right? So 40% more damage is a increase of 16% more damage on her regular attacks. But that will also do nothing on her burst damage. But I'll talk about the burst damage in a bit. But yeah, okay, so it's about roughly 16% more damage on her skill 1 then. And then for the full charge, or skill 2, activates when attacking full charge, affects targets, deals fixed damage to the main body equal to 58.99% of the damage dealt by self. Is this based on a single instance of the damage, or is this based on total damage? That is my question. So because the way I kind of thought about it was this. Okay, so it's a question of, so let's say you have a 61% attack and a 30% 1300. Oh wait, that's her burst, that's her regular burst. This is her full burst, by the way. So if it's like 61% attack, okay, let's just talk about the burst real quick. If it's 1300, would it make it so that if you have this, you will get 79k damage, and then the skill 2, is it a single instance of the damage or the total damage? So for example, if it's single instance, then it would just be multiplied by 79, so it will be 47k. Or if it's total damage, the more parts there are we getting multiplied by it, right? So if, is it gonna be 558 and on 7 parts, then we'll get that plus 329 based on, basically it scales based on how many we hit. That's a question that I want to figure out. What does this skill 2 do? So basically what this does is, like, if it hits more units or more parts, then it can do more damage. And then does it get buffed from the core damage also? Yeah, we need to figure out how that will exactly do. And then is it a multiplier after the core damage is calculated or before the core damage is calculated, right? Like, yeah, so this one has a chance to make it better, but track history of rocket launchers has never been that great. In that case, I do have the perfect boss to test this on, so we will actually be able to test this, by the way, on stream. So when Emilia goes live, we'll do test. We have the perfect boss to test the rocket launchers. Okay, we have a perfect boss for it. And then now activates when entering full burst, affects self, max ammo capacity. Yeah, this is just additional max ammo, which is, I guess that will synergize with skill 1, right? So that's additional thing, so that will increase her skill 1 damage. There is a possibility, depending on how good this kit is, this skill 2, there is a possibility that this is a low priority, this skill 2, and then the skill 1, it could be a high priority. Well, we will see. We'll see how the skill 2 really works. That's fixed damage, just a new terminology that they're adding. Need to figure out what are they trying to do with this. And then the burst, explosion range 101% higher, so that's like A2 ish E. We'll see how good that's gonna be. Now here's the thing, the burst though is 1300. However, that sounds like, oh my god, Snow White, but you have to realize this is 1300 on a 61%. Snow White is a 1000 damage on a 499%. Okay, and just to give you an idea, in order for Emilia to get to Snow White's damage, is you need to hit 6 things at once. Yeah, and for Snow White, you only need to hit 1 piece. Now the thing is, typically you would use Snow White when there's like a pierce situation, right? So that means you're hitting at least 2. So that's the 999,000 for Snow White. Meanwhile, Emilia is it's like 500. Oh no, 7. This is already stretching. This is very hard to find. The only unit that you can hit 7 is Mother Whale. There's like 6 ports with, and then the core, the main core, or the body. Actually, that could be, yeah. So yeah, oh, that's gonna be rough for us. And another thing is, yeah, for Maxwell, she only needs to hit 2 to hit that 488. Now, again, it will completely depend how good the skill 2 is. If it's based on total damage, then she will definitely scale better against units that have enemies that have more. Because otherwise, like, you're gonna see a plus 47. So you're gonna get the 558 on the 7-piece plus 47. Or if it's total damage, then it would be a 558 plus 329. Which, by the way, is still not enough to reach the 2 hits from Snow White. And, however, this kit also kind of just tells us, because of the explosion range bonus and this kit, and like, you know, how rocket launchers is, it's gotta be a mother whale. Like, spoiler free, there's a whale related entity in ReZero, and so it's gonna be likely a mother whale soul raid. We have said this also before, so there is a likelihood chance that we're gonna have that a recolored whale. Yep, that, and it's gonna be water reek, and since Emilia is water, come on, there's no way you're gonna make Rem something else, right? So we're gonna have Emilia water and Rem water. Oh my god, another machine gun water? Huh. Yeah. Well, in any case, my thoughts on it. Just grab one copy, obviously. There has been some situations where we did use A2 on the some solo raids after she was released. However, until Shift Up makes more rocket launcher friendly units,
make Rem meta.
Make Rem meta, yeah. Unless like we get more bosses that are rocket launcher weak, like right now it's just so hard to get rocket launchers going. Right now there's 2, 3 maybe that are good rocket launcher wise, but even then a Pierce unit like Alice or Red Hood was even more than enough. For example, for Nihilister, she has a lot of parts, but it doesn't respawn, or it's not like a high HP enough part to take like full advantage of it. And so right now, yeah, rocket launchers is kind of really struggling. And typically rocket launchers are good on mid-tier people, like the mid-game people, but like on the top on most end, majority of us don't use rocket launchers. Like at the top end level, once you very late most game, when you got everything built, you're just not going to use rocket launcher. The reason for that is because once you destroy the parts, and the thing is like you're geared enough to destroy the parts, once you destroy the parts, it's pretty much, it doesn't do anything else after that. So like your damage, basically you go from, oh yeah, you're doing this 558 on a burst, for example, but then the moment there's no more parts, well, you're down to 79k. And so and then meanwhile, but then you think about it, right? For example, Snow White, even if there's no more parts, you're still doing 499. So yeah, that's the major weakness of rocket launcher. So yeah.
Nailig siya.
Oh.
Kasi hindi maganda yung pagsara nung. Kasi nasa ano 85 degree.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Got my Bobo Run chat. Monday nights, my brother goes to the gym, and then like when he goes home, he gets a boba. Oh, hydrate. Oh. Brother interrupting the video. No, let's end the video right now. Actually, no. Wait. Is my thoughts done? Oh yeah. Okay. So, okay. Am I gonna pull? I will definitely pull. At least get one copy. In my opinion, here's my thoughts just in general for collab characters. I would get at least one copy just because we never know if they're gonna come back. And my train of thought is, listen, you can't flex that your account has these units to other people. See, that's the thing. Come on, like that's the main thing. Come on. You see these other people that are coming. How is your account that has existed during ReZero collab? How is this, like, how much value is it on a character that existed, or on an account that is after ReZero collab, if you never got the ReZero collab? Can confirm my biggest regret is not getting Tove's lobby screen. After investing in Tove, I learned that collab is just get one copy for collection. Yeah, I would say, yeah. So collection wise, I think just get collection. But would I get duplicate copies? Looking at this right now, this is a worse Maxwell, right? If you think about it, or Snow White. It's a worse on Snow White in terms of damage wise. Actually, burst wise. Okay, let's just talk about burst wise. It's worse than Snow White and Maxwell burst wise. Obviously, there's another matter of like what? How about like we just maybe it's a rocket launcher, so there's like more consistent damage throughout the fight, right? So technically it will be good, but there's nothing that increases her charge range or explosion range after her burst. So that means that her prime time of hitting multiple parts is during her burst, but then otherwise she's just like there's like just that slight AoE. So at the end, majority of your damage on terms of like AoE is during the burst situation, which is similar to A2. And you can see how A2 is being used almost never. Very rarely she is being used nowadays. But the thing is, Maxwell has attack buff. She doesn't. There's nothing that support her. She is a pure DPS, so she's not even supporting anybody here. And even then, I kind of want to build Vesti, you know. I'm thinking about, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to convince myself to fully invest on Emilia. I'm not sure just yet, but obviously for testing purposes we're gonna invest in Emilia. What I'm saying though is, like, in terms of if I would recommend people to invest in Emilia, because like right now, other than like this probably upcoming Mother Whale Solar Raid, because I swear if this is not Mother Whale Solar Raid, I don't know what else, because like Nier has the white blacksmith also. Right? And so there's Mother Whale, and they're probably gonna turn it into white boss also, apparently. But yeah, Maxwell has a buff, right? And then there's also charge speed buff. So, and Emilia doesn't really provide anything else. So she's a selfish attacker, kind of like Red Hood, kind of like Snow White. Actually, Red Hood's not selfish. She just burst one buff, but kind of like Snow White. Is very selfish. And outside of this, I have a hard time convincing myself to use Emilia over Snow White, at least at the top end most situation. Because also you got to think about it, right? Snow White takes advantage of the Yulha damage, and she could take advantage of the Yulha damage actually, but at the same time, it requires a boss with a lot of parts to even catch up to the same damage as a Snow White. So yeah, honestly, at the end, we'll just see how she's gonna be. We'll do testing as usual when she goes live. I had to move my doctor's appointment for next week instead, because I was like, oh crap, I scheduled my doctor's appointment for when Emilia's coming out. So I'm like, oh wait, all right, let me move it out. Actually, it's not doctor's appointment, it's a lab work. Okay, it's for they're gonna take my blood work. So testing greater than health, it's fine. It'll give me time to work out and keep myself healthy, remove the boba out of my system so that it'll show in my blood work that I'm like healthy, right? Yeah, it's kind of like how you start testing could raise your blood pressure. Play your Nikke on your phone at the appointment. No, it has to be on stream. No, we're gonna be testing, chat. Listen,